Well, it's Saturday, the 27th of November. This is episode 2145 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me at the JMO. Thanks to everyone who sent messages about episode 2143, Do the Things That Need Doing. I'm glad that it resonated with people. That episode skirted the surface of a much deeper personal crisis that I've been wrestling with. 2 years ago, I released the zine, Your Attention is Sovereign. And in it, I talk about an important two-step process. 1, you personally get to decide where you put your attention. And 2, by acknowledging this, you have to take full responsibility for where you have put your attention in the past and where you will put it in the future. It seems so simple to say these words out loud in episode 1821, but it is, of course, much easier said than done. Deciding to stop fucking around on the internet, arguing about nonsense on social media, or watching TV is not a one-off process. It's an ongoing one that has to be recommitted repeatedly and often every time you catch yourself at it. These aren't decisions that can be made just once. It's impossible for me to talk about struggles with procrastination without also talking about meditation. It's resulted in a way of acting in the world that has woven itself deeply into my day-to-day, my writing and creative life. I'm coming up on 10 years and will pass 5,000 hours next year. Results so far indicate that my life is both better and immeasurably worse for having done so much of it. In 2018, I was feeling good about what and where I was putting my attention, but it was ultimately vainglorious and fleeting. Telling everyone else to try and do the same thing was hypocritical. Trying my best has resulted in being constantly aware of how much of my life I was wasting by procrastinating, and just how much of it I've wasted since I was a teenager. The struggle to take responsibility for my attention over the last few years has resulted in an extended period of personal crisis, exacerbated by competing anxieties. The horror I experienced as the fog of a years-long depression broke at the beginning of the UK lockdown last year was intense. The transparent fact that it wasn't depression that was preventing me from doing the things I felt needed doing, it was something far worse. Me. Depression was just a blanket I'd wrap myself in to calm other anxieties about my lack of activity. The Yoga Sutras talk of obstacles and consequences. There are 9 kinds of distraction: illness, apathy, doubt, negligence, sloth, imbalance, delusion, self-deprecation, and instability. These obstacles produce or result in consequences: mental or physical pain, sadness or dejection, restlessness, shakiness, or anxiety, and irregularities in the exhalation and inhalation of breath. This gives one a mixed palette in which to interrogate one's mental and behavioural obstacles. The solution, of course, is a circular one. Make the mind one-pointed. Focus. Then, to use that focus as self-reflection to tease apart the bundle of consequences one is experiencing, working them backwards to their cause, the obstacles. My own experience of chronic procrastination is made up of a set of compound consequences: restlessness, anxiety, and anguish. Examining these things without the blanket of depression was difficult. Sloth causes restlessness, anxiety, and anguish, but sloth is caused by self-doubt, resulting in apathy. Take responsibility for where you have put your attention in the past and where you will put it in the future. This says nothing about the here and now, the present. Awareness of where one's attention is being placed can only be accounted for in the present. Looking backwards, one finds the work of body. Looking forward is only to fantasize about the possibility that lies ahead. Only in the present can procrastination and its causes be addressed. I'm also acutely aware that talking about these things doesn't actually solve anything. Failure to execute is a term that I would use to describe my creative life ever since I was in my late teens. Lots of talking and thinking, very little doing and finishing. I've always been affected by self-doubt, which has led at times to accusations of a lack of ambition. But finally being honest about it all, out loud, is a start of the solution. When meditating, just as one becomes aware that their mind has wandered and acts upon it, so too must one act as soon as they become aware that they are procrastinating. You have to be honest with yourself in the moment. I am procrastinating. Then you either close the web browser or not. Either way, you take full responsibility for whatever decision that you make. Finding rhythm is about making these small decisions in the present and then being responsible for the consequences throughout the day. This results in doing the things that need doing when they need getting done, or not. For me personally, the isolationist experience of these last pandemic years has been an extremely useful environment for introspection and self-honesty. There's been no choice but to look in the mirror. I am, for my part, going to continue to try and deal with my life in the present as it unfolds, acknowledging ingrained 20-plus-year-old behaviours and trying to be more responsible for where I'm placing my attention. Each time I am honest about my behaviour, it smooths the surface of the way ahead, slightly. I'll know I'll get there eventually. No point in being eager for it to happen sooner though. The only thing of concern, ultimately, is what you are doing right now.